Oh, my ears so botched. Oh, my ears so botched.
U.S. rewards safe drivers with up to 30% off your auto insurance premium at renewal. Hey, Dad. Came in kind of quick.
Okay. Let's see. How do I add a piece of text on here? To transform, edit transform, alignment. It's like this. Nope, that's not how you do it. Alignment, right. How do I adjust the font on this? Read from file. Can I not? Okay, that's fine. Transform, edit, transform. Do this. And then I'll do properties. And I'll do something like try air checking. That's not it. Okay. Call get player index for bounce checking plus obstacle checking. Okay. So get player index for bounce checking. Passing in grid. So grid is calling. Okay, so grid has the player state from the index and the coordinates, and we're updating that fine. So what we want to do is we want to be able to call get player index to see if it's out of bounds and if there's also an obstacle. So we would need to do the, I would rather do the error checking inside of commands.cpp instead of grid, because grid is literally just the object that holds the state of the grid and also the player and all of the objects on there. So, and I want to be able to check preemptively in commands before I have to access anything else with move player. So I'll just do this. So I'll do so I'll kind of write out the steps here. So check if we are going to check if player index
without calling your parents for help. Get a quote in seconds, starting at $5 a month.
I've got to clean up this execute command. Using version to clean up readability. Okay, so we'll do that later. So Actually, no, that wouldn't make sense because we would, if we're checking, I think I would want to, I think I'd be fine with calling move player and then just error checking there, so, ooh, this is gonna get really messy. Utilize player position to update. Well, I'm only concerned about moving the player. Like, I don't really want to. I don't really want to do the air and bounce checking in there. I just want to be able to just move the player. That's fine. But then I would have to move the logic out. Out of grid.cpp for here. That's really interesting. Yeah, I think it makes sense to move it out of here, I think. Let's check this out. So this is so messy. Okay, so the trade-off here is that we're calculating no, we literally have to do the check-in here. Okay. Set to 0 since player left the spot. Well, this is gonna become very spaghetti code, but I guess. expression must... But it has to be type int star. Oh, that's ugly. That is so messy. Yo, what up, Star? I'm gonna be famous, GG. Return. So what am I checking here? Okay, so if I'm checking out of bounds, well, I need to know if I need to pass in the state of the direction too. Well, then that just gets messy then. Yeah, this shit is ass, but it's so rewarding at the same time. Like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move the player, and then I got to actually moving the player inside of the grid yesterday, but I have to check if the player requests to move out of bounds, or if there's an obstacle in the way. Then obviously we're not going to let them move onto that spot, and then we need to print out the respective error message. Have you tried learning Rust? No, I heard a lot of good things about it. To be honest, I wanted to shoot myself in the foot with managing pointers manually, so I think that's why I chose to still stick with C++. I is all it's all that I've worked in during undergrad, so it's just something I pick up naturally. But again, I'm pretty sure if I pick up Rust, it wouldn't be too bad at all. It's just like picking up any other programming language when you already know a couple. But yeah, I'm trying to pass in the state of the player's requested direction into the bounds in the obstacle checking, because I also need to check if there's a ton of resources to learn Rust as well. It's a lot easier than C++, in my opinion, because of stuff like the Rust book. No, I get you. I did want to work on this project and then another project for C++, and then I kind of did want to see where I'm at in terms of learning, trying to pick up another language. I don't think the language itself is inherently more approachable, TBH, but with the resource, it's low-key easier. That's good. I like that. this is probably gonna be so bad. I'm just gonna like fucking. Does all the same thing as people else though, so it's not like you need to do it by any means, but it's low-key nice once you get into it. No, yeah, you've piqued my interest now. Huh, that's interesting. I'll just pass in the direction. It's fine. Oh, this is so ugly, but we're gonna do it. I'll do this as well. Holy fuck, this is so bad. I'm doing the same statements twice to just check the direction. I'm wondering, do I even need these? Okay, I'm just gonna roll with this for a second. I'm not gonna write any of those. Well then, yeah, I think this is fine actually. Fuck it. If player dot chords dot x is equal to if player dot chords dot x minus 1 is equal to if player chords dot x minus 1 is equal to is less than 0, or player dot chords dot x minus, well, no. Okay, so if we're going back, and that's all we have to check for. std cout invalid, invalid well, what should we say? Player chords out of bounds, that's fine. Spaghetti code. So now we have to check. Now we have to check if yeah, now we have to check if, so we did if it's out of bounds, and then now we have to do if there's an obstacle in the way. So if player dot chords dot x minus 1 is equal to, what's an obstacle? It's just gonna be 1. Oh shit. So this are just checking the bounds, that's fine. But then we have to check if the chords at players chords dot x minus 1 is equal to 1. That's really confusing. See out obstacle in the way. It's fine, and then now we have to do the same thing for everything else. Yeah, STDC out, chords out of bounds, right? Because when we're moving down a row, if it's greater than the rows dot calls, which is the amount of, which is the size of our array minus 1, which is will get us the index, then we're out of bounds. We have to return as well. Oh man. obstacle is in the way. Yo, what up, Michael Jordan from Space Jam? How's it going? Player Michael Jordan from Space Jam. Player chords dot what's that? That's a good name. Player chords dot y plus 1 is equal to yeah, what up, Amit? We are coding up a C++ game. Let me just, I can go ahead and stash my changes, that's fine. We are coding up a C++ game, so if I just zoom in here, git stash, git checkout, make clean. So, we're supposed to make a grid game in the CLI where we are controlling the player, and then, you know, different obstacles show up, different enemies show up. We're able to adjust the map size, and we're able to pick up quests if we step on a certain tile, right? And so the idea here is that we're going to be able to type in commands. So move south is going to move the player down just like that, so on and so forth with you know, the rest of the commands. Move south. So we're going to be able to we're learning basic data structures again with this project. Do you have any job? Yes, I work at a AI tech startup right now. So let me git switch module on git pop. Oops. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, okay, come on, I want to change this back. We are not vibe coding, but we know, you know, we're still using Claude to figure out some syntax stuff. Basically anything you would do on Google, just searching up certain syntax. I'm still doing in Claude, so favorite language. For my job, we work a lot in TypeScript and yeah, just TypeScript all around, which is just a statically typed version of JavaScript. I did C++ in my undergrad. Did a little bit of Python, but honestly, I don't have a favorite language. My work is just TypeScript and Python. Yeah, yeah, mine is just TypeScript. Pretty much. Just because we use Next.js, React, for our stack. Currently trying to jump back into C and C++, Golang, etc. No cloud to de-rest myself. No, that's literally the reason why I'm not vibe coding, is I've done it so much for work. And I vibe coded a lot to do a lot of the side projects I used to put on my resume to get the internships and the jobs, but I'm just doing everything by hand again. How much you know with coding and interesting for you? Honestly, I don't make a lot right now just because I came out of undergrad. Yeah, I really don't make a lot. I think I make a little bit more than the average McDonald's worker. But you know, it's a small startup. So it's not a regular corporate role where, you know, we're given the big salaries, but I do enjoy my job. Not sure if asking people with their if asking people their salary is the best question. I mean, no, there are some people that are fully transparent with it. I choose not to be fully transparent. I mean, you can kind of put two and two together. I make a little bit more than a McDonald's worker, so how is my beloved? I have a website written in TypeScript with Express. There we go. I actually finished up my portfolio site. I've redone it so many times. Let me actually go ahead and show it off. Can I switch screens here? VS Code. Let me do my display capture instead. This. Let me move this down here. So this is my current portfolio. So is it even showing up here? Okay, so it's got those funny ass Craigslist ads that you'd see on like a really old website. I do a little bit of writing on here. This is my first blog I created literally like a month and a half ago. Yeah, my current resume stuff and just a update of what I'm doing. So it's very simple, nothing too crazy, but I feel like in this world of AI, everything is just everyone's portfolio looks the same. So I wanted to switch mine up, and I also have my cat as the cursor here. So CLI game meaning like top-down 2D with sprites, or like text adventure game? CLI game in terms of it's a top-down 2D, no sprites. It's just letters printed out on the command line. Oh, for the genius, I should make one of those. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, I think having a portfolio is just the default. I fortunately do not have any projects on it, just because, I mean, and going into the second question about the project's code, I think honestly my most favorite, like I have this whole course written up that I had Claude, of course, kind of help me out with, but again, if I kind of go through it quickly, so I am kind of building out this whole game where I am coding up data structures on Scratch, just so I know how the data structure works, and I'm not just using, you know, I'm not importing a hash map library, so I'm building it all from scratch. So far, I'm only on module 1, so I'm just working with arrays and strings and classes and structs and whatnot. So far for this module, I'm just supposed to build the world, so that's the grid, and then do all the input handling, so executing commands And the last thing I have to do is the boundary checking. So I have to make sure I don't enter a block cell or a or out of if I don't move off the grid. So yeah, Mitt, have a good one. But yeah, what I'm most proud of is yesterday it was kind of hard for me to wrap my head around about how I would store the state of the whole grid. But lo and behold, I mean, it wasn't too hard. I just am so used to the AI vibe coding. I was like, dude, my brain is so fried. But we have this coordinate grid here that maps out the coordinates into a flat 1D array. And I created a bunch of functions to convert. Okay, if the player is at 2-1, then 2-1 is equal to this spot in the 1D array. So wasn't anything revolutionary by a long shot, but just having to like think about it was just like the more satisfying part of it. Hey, dude, that looks good. Like a good project to solidify these concepts. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of using AI to help you learn, and so the way I did it was, build myself a course with AI. It links all the sources and everything that I need to watch, links all the YouTube videos and whatnot, and then go off of that. And then if you need a simple syntax question to be answered, just use Claude. I mean, I understand the skill of looking up docs and trying to read them, but at the same time, this is all for fun, and if I can just shortcut in that way, have Claude read me the docs, why not just have it be like that? Yeah, I'm not gonna remember everything. I'm not gonna be like I set the expectation for myself that if the docs are there, they're there, right? I mean, I'll get to the point where I'm gonna be able to code a lot of stuff from scratch, like I am doing right now with little assistance of AI. But it's just something fun for me, right? Okay, so I need to figure out if player dot course dot. Okay, so I'm just checking chords here. So,
Don't know who can clean this? Thumbtack knows. Hire the right pro for every project.
I agree, but I almost never use Switch. Case just out of habit. Question: why are you using if else for his directions and
I'm proud to support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
what is this ad that's playing? You have a good point. A Switch statement feels cleaner to me for that. Yeah. How much time it takes you to learn coding? I mean, I'm always learning. I just graduated this past semester. And I've been in my undergrad for 5 years, and I'm not even where I want to be, and I don't think I ever will be, just out of pure trying to push myself in terms of coding. It's hard to escape the AI like vibe coding and stuff, just because the industry a lot lately has been trying to push that down your throat. But in the meantime, on my recreational time, I still need to be hand coding everything, right? Just to keep my chops up and whatnot. And is it worth it? I mean, yeah, anything that you want to do for fun, but also if you have a financial goal in mind, to me at least, it's worth it, right? If I'm gonna make more money if I learn XYZ skill, then the amount of pain that I have to go through is worth it for me. And if it's the concept of not having money is so painful to me that I will put myself through that pain in order to get the bag. And that's why I that's what I joined tech, for the money, of course. I mean, I like it to some extent. If I didn't like it at all, then I would not have picked tech. Do I do daily streams? Yeah, I mean, I started streaming yesterday. The last time I streamed before that was last year in November. Other than that, I am trying to do daily streams, and if not, just, stream when I can. I don't really have a set schedule. If player cores.y plus 1 is equal to... So I'm going east. So I'm just going to do this. Wait, am I tripping? Favorite music to listen while coding/working? Surprisingly, it's not the music I'm listening to. I listen to all of the good old EDM music, like dubstep, house, all of that stuff that you probably see a lot of people. I don't know if you're on social media, but all of the rave and festival music I listen to. That's correct. Start gaming stream if you want to earn money, because there are less people like us interested in coding. That's true. I don't enjoy gaming that much anymore, so I'm not gonna do something that I don't enjoy. Even though it might make me more money in the end, it's like, so what? But I still will get the bag by working in tech. Streaming for money is lame. Streaming to build like-minded communities where it's at. Yep. Very glad to see no vibe coding, bro. Well done. To be so transparent. How do I say your name? Syed? I think that's how I say your name. Sorry if I butchered it. I mean, I'm still, anything syntax-wise, I still am, looking stuff up. I've set up my Claude MD, so I am not referencing anything in my code base, and it's not going to point something out unless I ask it to, which I've never done thus far. So still got to remain transparent there. I'm still using AI to, fast track looking up docs. But let's see. I need to check my if my if statements are right. So, if so, the direction this is fine. South. I might be wrong in this one, so I just want to check if. I don't want to check this. I just want to check if my coordinate is greater than 0, 1, 2, 3. One, 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes sense. So if I had a grid where if, as for example, I was on this last spot here, so 0, 1, 2, 3, in terms of index, I'm on the 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm on the third index of my grid, but then the fourth row, I guess. So if I plus 1, I would end up at index 4, but that equals the number of rows that I have. So if 4 equals 4, then I'm out of bounds. Makes sense. That makes sense. That's fine. And then if I'm going east, then that means I would just do if it's equal to the number of calls. Kind of same concept there. Seems like maybe this could be a function passed in your chords grid, and the chords you want to... Seems like maybe this could be a function pass in your chords grid. So I'm like super slow right now. Seems so I would pass in my chords grid and the chords you want to go to and return true is if it's a valid move or not. That is actually smart as fuck. So when I would call move player inside of commands.h, I would just say, no, that makes sense. So for this statement here, I would just say if grid move player, if grid.move player direction is true, that's fucked. You can't new line in YouTube chat apparently. I see what you're saying. I will refactor that for later. I will literally fucking okay, I'm just gonna do this. It's actually like, see, like that's the thing I'm learning is that you know, if I continue on to write it this way, it's gonna be unmaintainable later, or at least maybe if it's not that, then it's gonna be so hard to read. But I understand what you're saying. For the purposes of trying to get it to work for the stream, I just want it to fucking like work right now, so I'm just gonna do it really ghetto. So if I do, so that was south was fine, but if I'm going east, then also it's good to just set in your head first and optimize. I 100% agree with you. That, you know, that's, I love using the naive method just to get to proof and then adding a bunch. No, that's what I literally do. I would literally write something to just work, and then if I'm like, it requires me to have it working, and then having to look at the function the next day and be like, why did I write it like that? And then I'll just end up either refactoring it right then and there, or if I'm currently working on something else, then I will go ahead and work on it later. And then it just, my to-do stack and the amount of I'm not actually able to complete what I need to complete, but also at the same time, it's being able to recognize that that is shit. I can write it better. You know, that's a skill, main skill I'm trying to train when I'm trying to code everything from scratch. Just write clean code. Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's just so dog. There's so much like that. This is fine though. It's fine because I'm just gonna fix it another day. That's fine. My brain has learned to ignore to-dos, TBHL. That's a habit I can't afford again. Yeah, I have like, is OCD the right thing? I, um, I need to be able to clear out through all of my to-dos before I actually, you know, say that that thing is done. Chords. If chords at I think it's just normal TBH. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a good habit. I feel like at least to be able to make sure you're not leaving anything out if you said you would do it later. Um, you say you recently finished undergrad. Favorite project in undergrad? Huh. Although very, well, I'm not gonna say it's trivial, but um, I think creating a it was for my programming languages class, so just learning all the different concepts of designing a program language. Um, it was creating a lexer and a parser. That was really fun. I feel like I got a taste of what it is to build a compiler. Although I didn't take a compilers class because I got a bachelor's of arts in computer science, which is something that my school offers. Basically, if you just wanted to kind of speed your way through undergrad and not have to take the upper level classes like operating system, I still had to take operating systems, but if you didn't want to take compilers or what was the other an automata class, I think, and also the advanced data structures class, you could just take the bachelor's of arts, take up to like a certain amount of level of CS classes, be done with it, but then you can also choose to concentrate on another major outside of engineering, which I did psychology, just because it was like my throwaway classes, and I just spent that extra time to do a lot of projects. Chords. I hope this shit works. Chords out of bounds. Chords out of bounds. Fire. Oh, wait. Oof. Am I tripping? I think I just spelled something wrong at the top. Okay, I can't move west now. I think it has something to do with... Oh no, bro, I'm typing in move west, and I'm expecting to move to the right. No, that's not how it works, bro. Okay, so I'm fine then. Cool. Yeah, what's off the grid to the left? Is that not intended? Yeah, I'm just fucking slow as hell. That's what happened. Absolutely right. Clean this shit up. Yeah, all of this needs to so I can be away with later. I also need a create an enum to be able to store what a certain number means in the coordinate. Like 1 is mapped out to a player in this case, or 100 marks the player. 1 is equal to an obstacle. I'm pretty sure I would create an enum. What, like, I basically just want to create a, I don't mean a literal map in C++, but literally just a literal key of, okay, 100 means player, 1 means an obstacle, and then maybe 2 or 3 is equal to a mob or something like that. But I don't, I guess what are the use cases for an enum? Okay. Oh, okay. So I should create that enum in the grid. Does the enum need to be part of the grid? Yeah. Just because the enum is going to store like player, mob, mob 1, mob 2. Reminder that as you create data structures, you should also be thinking about their serialization. True. Luckily, yeah, not gonna lie, I don't even know what that shit means. That's why I was looking it up on the second monitor. I did not want to admit game state saving and loading. Yeah, if I wanted to add that functionality, I guess that would be okay. But if I am, yeah, if I wanted to write, if I wanted to save the state of, what coordinate my player's on, then definitely I would want to be able to save it to a file and everything. But I guess in this case, since at the moment I'm just assuming that the player is going to finish the game in 1 session, and if they don't, then if they either don't get killed, or if they don't finish the game by defeating the boss or whatever, then that everything is just gonna destruct and not gonna save. That's fine. Bro, low-key, I didn't even check if my obstacle thing was working or not. Where's my obstacle? Obstacle. Make Bro, I was not supposed to go. Okay, looks like it's not working then. What's going on here? G2. Literally ate the obstacle. Player chords.x should be 0, right? +1 would just be if chords at 0 + 1, chords at 1. I'm not even checking it properly. Oh shoot. Okay, I need to debug the obstacle checker. I am to do debug obstacle check for each direction. I think I just need to call one of the functions I made for pair to index. pair to index. Pair to index. I will leave it off at that, TBH. Okay, if you guys are still watching, appreciate you for stopping by. If you haven't already, hit the sub button. If you have an interest in my streams, but yeah, hope you guys have a good night.